What if the hardships you have faced in your life were never signs of bad luck, but proof that you carry the spirit of a warrior? Take a moment to think about the challenges you have experienced throughout your life. Moments when things seemed unfair, times when you felt misunderstood, isolated, or pushed into situations that demanded strength you were not sure you possessed. Many people carry memories like these, but for some individuals the pattern feels unusually persistent. It can seem as if life has repeatedly placed obstacles in your path, forcing you to confront difficulties that others appear to avoid. For people who often identify with the path of the chosen one, this feeling is surprisingly common. They look around and notice that their life journey seems heavier than those around them. While others move through familiar routines with relative ease, they may find themselves navigating periods of rejection, confusion, or solitude. At times, it may even feel as though life itself has been testing them. During those moments, the experiences rarely make sense. When you are standing in the middle of a challenge, it is easy to interpret it as misfortune. You may question why certain situations keep appearing in your life. You may wonder why some paths close just as you begin to move forward. And you may look at the stability in other people's lives and ask yourself why your own journey seems more complicated. It is natural to feel this way when the meaning behind hardship is not immediately visible. But what if those challenges were never random? What if the obstacles you encountered were not punishments or signs that you were failing, but experiences designed to strengthen something inside you? What if every difficult moment was slowly shaping qualities that could not have developed in comfortable circumstances? When people face repeated adversity, something interesting often begins to happen. At first, the pressure feels overwhelming. Each challenge seems like another burden to carry. But over time, as individuals learn to survive and adapt, they begin to discover strength they did not realize they possessed. Resilience develops quietly through experience. Every time you recover from disappointment, your capacity to endure grows stronger. Every time you confront uncertainty and continue moving forward, your perspective becomes sharper. And every time you learn something from a difficult moment, your awareness deepens. Gradually, these experiences begin to form a powerful internal foundation. People who have walked through many challenges often develop a unique mindset. They become more observant, more thoughtful about their choices, and more capable of standing on their own when circumstances become unstable. They learn how to continue moving forward, even when the outcome is uncertain. Over time, this mindset becomes something more than simple endurance. It becomes what many people describe as a warrior spirit. A warrior spirit is not about aggression or conflict. It is about inner strength. It is the ability to remain steady in moments of pressure, to rise again after setbacks, and to maintain clarity when circumstances become difficult. It reflects a kind of mental and emotional discipline that can only be developed through real experience. Many individuals who carry this spirit do not realize how powerful it is because they have been living with it for so long. What feels like normal persistence to them may actually represent a level of resilience that many others never develop. When you begin looking at your life through this lens, the challenges you once saw as burdens may start to look different. The obstacles you faced may have been shaping the very strength that now allows you to continue moving forward. The periods of isolation may have been moments where your awareness and independence quietly grew. Understanding this possibility can change the way you interpret your past. Instead of seeing your life as a series of random hardships, you may begin to recognize a pattern of preparation. Each experience added something to the person you are today. Each challenge helped develop the strength that now defines your character. In this video, we are going to explore why you may carry this warrior spirit, the signs that this strength has already been forged within you, and how you can begin using that strength to move forward with greater confidence and purpose. And before we begin, if this message resonates with you in any way, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who may need to hear these words today, and subscribe to the channel for more content created for the chosen ones. In many cases, people who develop what can be described as a warrior spirit do not begin their journey under easy or comfortable circumstances. Their path often includes moments of pressure, uncertainty, and hardship that appear earlier and more frequently than they do for many others. While some individuals move through life with relatively predictable patterns, those who carry this deeper resilience often find themselves navigating experiences that demand strength long before they expected to need it. For many chosen ones, life seems to present a series of tests. These tests do not always arrive in dramatic or obvious ways. Sometimes they appear through rejection that feels deeply personal. Other times they emerge through failure that interrupts carefully built plans. There may be periods when people misunderstand your intentions or question your direction. And in some cases, there are long stretches of time where you feel as though you are walking your path alone, without the support or understanding you hoped to receive. When these experiences happen, they can feel incredibly difficult. Being misunderstood can create emotional distance between you and the people around you. Rejection can make you question your worth or your abilities. Failure can shake your confidence and leave you wondering whether you should continue moving forward. Perhaps the most challenging experience of all is the feeling of isolation. There are moments when individuals who carry this path feel as though no one truly understands what they are going through. While others seem to be moving through life with clarity and support, you may feel as though you are facing your challenges independently. When someone is standing in the middle of these difficult periods, it is almost impossible to see the purpose behind them. Challenges rarely announce their meaning while they are happening. In the moment, they simply feel like obstacles. They create frustration, confusion, and sometimes even exhaustion. During those times, it may seem as though life is working against you. But adversity has a unique effect on the human mind and spirit. While comfort can provide stability, it rarely demands transformation. When life remains easy for long periods of time, people often remain within familiar patterns. They rely on routines and expectations that rarely challenge their perspective. Growth still occurs, but it tends to happen slowly and within limited boundaries. Adversity changes this dynamic completely. When individuals are pushed beyond their comfort zones, their mind is forced to adapt. Challenges demand new ways of thinking. They require emotional endurance. They encourage people to develop solutions that they would never have needed in easier circumstances. Over time, these experiences begin shaping the individual in profound ways. Resilience develops when someone learns how to recover from setbacks. The first time a person experiences disappointment, it can feel overwhelming. But when they stand back up and continue moving forward, something important begins to change. The next challenge may still be difficult, but it no longer feels impossible. Adaptability develops when someone learns how to navigate unpredictable situations. When life does not follow the expected path, people are forced to think creatively. They begin discovering that they are capable of adjusting their direction while still continuing their journey. Emotional strength develops when someone learns how to endure pressure without losing their sense of purpose. Challenges that once seemed unbearable gradually become experiences that can be managed with patience and awareness. In this way, adversity acts like a form of training. Think about how warriors throughout history developed their abilities. They did not become strong simply by imagining difficult situations. Their strength came from confronting real challenges repeatedly. Each experience tested their endurance, sharpened their awareness, and strengthened their discipline. Over time, these experiences transformed them. The same principle applies to the psychological development of individuals who carry what can be described as a warrior spirit. Every challenge they face becomes a moment of learning. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to refine their ability to remain steady under pressure. At first, these experiences may feel unfair. You may look at others and wonder why their path appears smoother. You may question why certain obstacles seem to appear repeatedly in your own life. It can be frustrating to feel as though you are constantly being tested, while others seem to move forward with fewer difficulties. But what often becomes clear later in life is that these experiences were shaping qualities that comfort alone could never create. Each difficult moment forced you to develop awareness. You learned how to observe situations carefully before reacting. You began understanding the importance of patience when immediate solutions were not available. Each setback strengthened your resilience. Instead of giving up completely, you found ways to continue. You may have changed strategies, adjusted your expectations, or explored new directions. but you kept moving. Each period of isolation strengthened your independence. When support was limited, you learned how to rely on your own judgment. You developed the ability to think clearly, even when external guidance was unavailable. These experiences gradually build a powerful internal foundation. People who have endured repeated challenges often develop a different relationship with difficulty itself. Situations that might overwhelm others are approached with greater calm. Instead of reacting immediately with fear or frustration, they begin analyzing the situation and searching for the lesson hidden within it. This mindset is one of the defining characteristics of a warrior spirit. A warrior spirit does not mean that someone never feels doubt or pain. On the contrary, individuals who carry this strength often feel deeply. They experience disappointment, frustration, and exhaustion like anyone else. What distinguishes them is their response. Instead of allowing those emotions to define their direction, they use them as signals for reflection and growth. They learn from each experience and carry that knowledge into the next challenge they face. Over time, this approach creates mental discipline. Mental discipline allows individuals to remain focused on their path, even when circumstances become difficult. It prevents temporary setbacks from becoming permanent barriers. It creates the ability to continue forward with determination rather than retreating in defeat. Emotional endurance also becomes stronger. Emotional endurance is the ability to carry difficult experiences without allowing them to destroy your sense of purpose. It is the capacity to face disappointment and still believe that progress is possible. It allows individuals to maintain stability even when the external environment becomes uncertain. Another important quality that develops through adversity is clarity. When someone experiences repeated challenges, they begin recognizing patterns in life. They become more aware of how situations evolve and how people respond to pressure. This awareness strengthens their intuition and helps them make more thoughtful decisions. Over time, these qualities combine to create something powerful. They create the warrior spirit. The struggles you have experienced may have been shaping these qualities within you long before you recognized them. Each obstacle you faced added another layer of resilience. Each moment of doubt forced you to examine your purpose more deeply. Each challenge demanded strength that you did not know you possessed until the moment required it. Looking back, it becomes possible to see your journey from a different perspective. What once appeared to be a series of random hardships may actually represent a process of preparation. Life may have been strengthening your mind, sharpening your awareness, and building the internal discipline necessary to handle greater responsibilities and challenges. The difficulties you faced were not evidence of weakness. They may have been the very process through which your warrior spirit was forged. One of the clearest signs that someone carries a warrior spirit is the ability to recover after setbacks. Life inevitably presents challenges to everyone, but the way individuals respond to those challenges reveals something deeper about their inner character. People who possess this kind of strength may still experience disappointment, frustration, or temporary defeat, yet those experiences rarely define the final outcome of their journey. When life pushes them down, they eventually find a way to stand up again. This does not mean that the process is always quick or easy. Recovery after a difficult experience can take time. There may be moments when exhaustion or doubt feels overwhelming. However, what distinguishes individuals with a warrior spirit is their refusal to remain defeated indefinitely. Even after painful failures or unexpected losses, something within them continues to move forward. They may pause to reflect. They may change their approach. They may take time to rebuild their confidence. But the idea of completely giving up rarely becomes their final decision. Over time, this ability to rise again becomes one of the defining patterns of their life. Many individuals who carry this spirit do not even realize how unusual this quality can be. Because they have lived with it for so long, perseverance simply feels normal to them. Yet when viewed from the outside, their resilience becomes more visible. Others may notice how they continue moving forward even after circumstances that would have caused many people to stop. This capacity to recover after setbacks is not something that appears suddenly. It develops gradually through experience. Every challenge that you survive adds another layer of resilience to your mindset. Each time you face difficulty and continue anyway, your mind begins learning an important lesson. It begins to understand that failure is not the end of the journey. Instead, it becomes part of the learning process that strengthens your ability to navigate future obstacles. This pattern creates a powerful internal belief. Rather than fearing setbacks, individuals with a warrior spirit begin seeing them as temporary stages within a longer journey. They understand that progress rarely follows a perfectly straight path. There are moments of advancement and moments of correction. There are victories as well as lessons. Over time, this perspective removes the fear that often stops people from continuing after their first major failure. Another important sign of a warrior spirit appears through independence of thought. In many environments, social pressure quietly influences how people behave and what they believe. Cultural expectations, group opinions, and the desire to be accepted can shape decisions in ways that individuals do not always recognize. Many people learn to follow the direction of the majority simply because it feels safer to move with the crowd. But individuals who have developed a warrior spirit often experience the world differently. Because they have faced challenges that required them to rely on their own judgment, they gradually become less dependent on external approval. They learn that not every decision can be guided by the opinions of others. In some moments, the path forward requires trusting your own understanding, even when others do not immediately agree. This independence of thought can sometimes make them appear different from those around them. They may question ideas that others accept without hesitation. They may pursue directions that do not follow the most common path. They may prioritize authenticity over popularity, choosing to act according to their own principles rather than conforming to expectations. This does not mean they ignore advice or refuse to learn from others. Instead, it means they evaluate information carefully before accepting it as truth. They listen, reflect, and then make decisions based on their own reasoning. This ability to think independently becomes especially important during difficult situations. When external guidance is limited or conflicting, individuals with a warrior spirit rely on their inner clarity to navigate uncertainty. They trust their observations and experiences rather than blindly following the direction of the crowd. Over time, this independence strengthens their confidence. They become more comfortable standing alone when necessary. They understand that approval from others is not always the most reliable indicator of the right path. What matters more is whether their decisions align with their values and their understanding of the situation. Another sign that often reveals the presence of a warrior spirit is the ability to extract lessons from difficult experiences. Challenges can easily be interpreted as meaningless suffering when they are first encountered. Painful situations can leave people feeling frustrated, angry, or confused. It is natural to question why certain events happened or why they had to endure specific hardships. However, individuals with a warrior spirit gradually develop the habit of looking deeper. Instead of viewing every challenge as random misfortune, they begin asking different questions. They ask what the experience might be teaching them. They examine how the situation influenced their thinking, their behavior, or their awareness. Over time, this habit transforms the way they interpret adversity. A difficult experience becomes more than a painful memory, it becomes a source of insight. For example, rejection may reveal the importance of self-worth that is independent of external validation. Failure may highlight areas where growth or preparation is needed. Misunderstandings may teach patience and communication. Even moments of isolation can offer opportunities for reflection and self-discovery. This approach does not eliminate the emotional impact of difficult experiences. Challenges still hurt, disappointment still feels real. But the ability to extract meaning from those experiences prevents them from becoming purely destructive. Instead, they become constructive. Each lesson gained from adversity adds to the individual's psychological awareness. Over time, these insights create a broader understanding of life and human behavior. This awareness allows individuals with a warrior spirit to approach future challenges with greater clarity. They recognize patterns more quickly. They anticipate potential obstacles. They respond to difficulties with thoughtful strategies rather than impulsive reactions. This combination of resilience, independence, and reflective awareness represents a deeper form of strength. It is not simply emotional endurance. Many people can tolerate difficult situations for a limited period of time, but the warrior spirit involves something more complex. It combines emotional strength with psychological awareness and mental discipline. Emotional endurance allows individuals to withstand pressure without collapsing under it. Psychological awareness helps them interpret their experiences in ways that promote growth rather than defeat. Mental discipline enables them to continue moving forward even when circumstances become discouraging. Together, these qualities create a mindset that is both strong and adaptable. People who carry a warrior spirit are not immune to struggle. Their lives still contain uncertainty and challenges, but their approach to those challenges is different. Instead of being defined by the obstacles they face, they use those obstacles as tools for development. Over time, this mindset becomes one of their most valuable strengths. It allows them to move through life with resilience and clarity. They learn to see beyond immediate setbacks and focus on the larger journey unfolding around them. They recognize that every experience, even the difficult ones, contributes to the person they are becoming. When you observe these patterns within yourself, you may begin realizing that your past challenges were not simply unfortunate events. They were part of the process that developed your warrior spirit. And once that spirit has been forged through experience, it becomes one of the most powerful forces guiding your path forward. Having a warrior spirit is not only about surviving difficult experiences. Survival is only the first stage of the process. Many people endure hardship, but not everyone learns how to transform those experiences into something meaningful. The deeper purpose of a warrior spirit is not simply endurance. It is the ability to convert adversity into wisdom, direction, and strength that can shape the future. When you begin to understand your own resilience, the challenges you have faced start to take on a different meaning. Instead of appearing as random obstacles that slowed you down, they begin to look like experiences that prepared you for something greater. Each difficult situation required you to develop qualities that could not have been built under easy circumstances. The moments when you felt uncertain forced you to think carefully about your choices. The times when you faced rejection required you to rely on your own belief in yourself. The periods when things did not go according to plan taught you how to adapt and continue moving forward. These experiences did more than test your strength, they built it. When someone carries a warrior spirit, they eventually reach a moment where they recognize this truth. They realize that their past struggles were not simply painful chapters. They were lessons that strengthened their ability to navigate life with greater awareness. This realization is important because it changes the way you see your own history. If you view your past struggles only as burdens, they remain sources of frustration and regret. They become memories that weigh on your confidence and influence your decisions through fear. But when you begin to recognize those experiences as preparation, something powerful happens. Your perspective shifts. The difficulties you once wished had never happened begin to look like training that shaped your character. The moments that once made you question your strength now appear as proof that you possess it. This shift in perspective creates a new kind of confidence. Confidence that is built on experience is very different from confidence that is based only on optimism. When someone knows they have already survived difficult situations, they begin approaching the future with greater stability. Uncertainty no longer feels like an impossible threat because they have already faced it before. They know that they can adapt. They know that they can recover. They know that they can learn from whatever challenges appear. This understanding allows you to approach future challenges with a different mindset. Instead of asking whether you are strong enough to handle a situation, you begin asking what the situation can teach you. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers that stop your progress, you begin seeing them as parts of the journey that help refine your direction. This mindset does not eliminate difficulty, but it changes how difficulty is experienced. A warrior spirit also shifts the focus from survival to purpose. When someone spends a long time navigating hardship, it is easy to fall into a survival mindset. Survival thinking focuses on enduring the present moment and avoiding further damage. It is a necessary response during periods of intense difficulty, but it is not meant to be permanent. Eventually, there comes a moment when survival is no longer the only goal. That moment is when the warrior spirit begins guiding a person toward purpose. Purpose involves asking deeper questions about what your life is meant to contribute. It involves considering what values matter most to you and what kind of impact you want your life to have. It invites you to move beyond simply reacting to circumstances and instead begin shaping your direction intentionally. Your warrior spirit becomes a valuable tool in this process. The resilience you developed through hardship gives you the strength to pursue meaningful goals even when they require effort. The awareness you gained through difficult experiences helps you recognize opportunities that align with your deeper values. The independence you develop during periods of isolation allows you to follow your own path, even when it differs from the expectations of others. In other words, the same qualities that helped you survive adversity can now help you build a life that reflects your true identity. This transition requires a conscious decision. It requires choosing to use your strength not only for defense, but also for creation. Instead of focusing only on protecting yourself from future pain, you begin directing your energy toward building something meaningful. You may begin exploring goals that once seemed too ambitious. You may pursue interests that reflect your authentic passions, rather than simply fulfilling external expectations. You may start making decisions based on your deeper understanding of what truly matters to you. As this process unfolds, your warrior spirit becomes more than a response to difficulty. It becomes a guiding force. It reminds you that strength is not only about withstanding pressure, it is also about using that strength to move towards something greater. Another important aspect of using your warrior spirit is the ability to remain steady when facing future uncertainty. Life rarely becomes completely predictable, even after personal growth has taken place. New challenges will still appear. Unexpected changes will still occur. But when someone understands the power of their own resilience, those situations no longer feel as threatening as they once did. Instead of fearing uncertainty, they begin approaching it with curiosity and determination. They trust that whatever happens, they possess the tools needed to navigate it. Their past experiences have already proven that they are capable of adapting and learning under pressure. This confidence does not make them reckless. Instead, it makes them thoughtful and composed. They recognize that every challenge carries both risk and opportunity. Because they are no longer overwhelmed by fear, they can examine situations carefully and choose responses that align with their long-term direction. Over time, this approach allows them to move through life with a greater sense of intention. Their decisions are no longer driven solely by the desire to avoid difficulty. Instead, they are guided by the desire to pursue growth, meaning, and purpose. The warrior spirit, therefore, becomes more than a reaction to hardship. It becomes a resource that shapes the entire way a person approaches life. It influences how they interpret their experiences. It guides how they respond to challenges. It shapes the goals they pursue and the values they choose to protect. When you begin to see your warrior spirit in this way, your past struggles take on a new meaning. They are no longer events that simply happen to you. They are experiences that built the strength you now carry within you. And that strength is not limited to defending yourself from adversity. It can guide you toward a life that reflects clarity, purpose, and intentional direction. The warrior spirit within you is not just evidence of survival. It is the foundation for the life you are capable of building next. If you take a moment to look back at the journey of your life, you may begin to notice a pattern that once seemed confusing. There may have been periods where the road ahead felt heavier for you than it did for others. Times when the challenges appeared more frequent, the obstacles more difficult, and the moments of uncertainty more intense than you expected. While others seem to move through their path with fewer disruptions, your own journey may have required you to develop strength much earlier than you anticipated. At the time, those experiences may have felt unfair or even discouraging. It can be difficult to understand why certain challenges appear repeatedly while you are living through them. When you are standing in the middle of hardship, it is natural to question the purpose behind it. You may wonder why things had to be so difficult, or why your path required you to face situations that seemed overwhelming. But when you step back, and view your life from a broader perspective, those same experiences may begin to reveal a different meaning. If you have faced more challenges than many of the people around you, that may not be a coincidence. It may not be random misfortune or bad luck. Instead, it may be evidence that your life has been quietly shaping something powerful within you. That power is the development of a warrior spirit. Every challenge you encountered required you to grow stronger in ways that comfort alone could never achieve. Each setback demanded resilience. Each moment of uncertainty required you to think carefully and adapt. Each difficult chapter pushed you to develop patience, awareness, and determination. Over time, those qualities began forming the foundation of who you are today. The struggles you experienced were not meaningless events scattered across your past. They were moments of preparation. They were experiences that strengthened your resilience and sharpened your awareness of the world around you. They forced you to develop the emotional endurance necessary to continue moving forward, even when circumstances were unclear. When you recognize this, your past begins to look different. What once appeared as a series of burdens begins to reveal itself as a process of development. The difficult chapters that once felt painful now stand as evidence of the strength that was built through them. They show that you endured situations that required courage, reflection, and perseverance. Those chapters are not simply memories of hardship, they are proof of the strength that exists within you. The resilience you carry today did not appear overnight. It was shaped gradually through every challenge you survived and every lesson you learned along the way. Each experience contributed to the person you have become and prepared you for the path that continues unfolding ahead. This understanding can change the way you see your future as well. Instead of approaching new challenges with fear, you can approach them with the awareness that you have already faced difficulties before and continued forward. The warrior spirit that developed through your past experiences remains part of you. It is a resource you can rely on whenever life presents uncertainty again. Your journey has already shown you that you are capable of adapting, learning, and growing even in difficult circumstances. That knowledge is one of the most powerful forms of confidence a person can possess. As you move forward, remember that the strength you carry today was earned through experience. The challenges you faced were not the end of your story. They were part of the process that prepared you for the next chapter of your life. And if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel for more content created for the chosen ones.